An auction is a dangerous place to be, said Malone. There's a terrible risk you'll end up buying something. It's for charity, for heaven's sake, said Lisa. Otherwise, why are we here? Ellen Bond started going broke at auction. He paid millions he couldn't afford for that Van Gogh painting, dahlias. Irises, said Lisa, and turned to the Rocknes. The last time Scobie put his hand up, he was at school. He wanted to leave the room. Is Will mean with money, Olive? Olive Rockne looked at her husband. Are you, darling? Will Rockne spread his hands, as if he thought that was a philanthropic gesture in itself. You know better than I would, love. Malone listened with only half an ear to the Rocknes. They were not friends of the Malones, nor did he want them to be. He and Lisa had had dinner once at the Rockne home, the result of an unguarded moment of sociability at a meeting of the Parents' Association of Holy Spirit Convent. He had been bored stiff with Will Rockne, and he had asked Lisa not to reciprocate with a return invitation. Tonight, at this arts and crafts festival to raise money for the school, the Rocknes had attached themselves to the Malones like long-time friends. Malone hated these school affairs. At the same time, he wondered if he were growing into a social misfit. He had never been one for parties or a night out with the boys, but at least he had been sociable. Now, he found himself more and more reluctant to sound agreeable when Lisa told him there were certain functions they were expected to attend. He knew he was being selfish and did his best to hide the fact. But the fact was that he had lost almost all his patience with bores, and Will Rockne was a bore. Holy Spirit was a Catholic school, with the usual school's Catholic collection of parents. There was the author who lived on literary grants and was known in the trade as Carrie the Grant. There was his wife, who wore fringed shawls summer and winter and made macrame maps of some country she called Terra Australis. There were the tiny jockey and his towering blonde wife, who it was said had taken out a trainer's license the day they were married and had been exercising the license ever since. There were the stockbroker who was being charged with insider trading, and his wife, who was terrified of becoming a social outsider. And there were the low-income parents, the blue-collar and white-collar, whose children were at the school on scholarships, and who, to the nuns and lay staff's credit, were treated as no different.